Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pro Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our Pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape,
vinyl tape, carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. So many of you out there don't know, but I really enjoy cigars. And so I've got this young lady who's coming to the platform. She is going to talk about everything, particularly her own cigar brand, and she's going to talk about the cigar industry and women being in the industry. Enid, welcome to the platform. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. So let's just jump right into it. What is the name of your cigar brand?
The name of my cigar brand is Ancestry Cigars. We are based in Chicago, Illinois.
Fantastic. And so what was the reason behind you wanting to start this cigar brand?
Basically the reason behind me wanting to start the cigar line was because, first of all, my husband turned me on to smoking.
Yes.
He had been smoking about 30-some years. And I would go into the cigar lounges with him, and I would always have questions about the people that worked in the humidor as to where the women brands were.
Yes.
And basically they would say either it's very few of them or there aren't any. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's true. I said, I think that, you all just are choosing not to carry the brands for whatever reasons, but I don't think that's true. I said, I think it's women out there. So basically I did my research on the women brands. I found out that it wasn't a lot. It's only about national premium brands. It's with myself being on the list, it's about 12 of us. And it's very small pickings compared to what it is for the men that produce the cigars.
Okay, now let me stop you. You said there were only about 12 women that manufacture and produce their own cigar?
Correct. And that's inside, and we come from it being premium cigars.
Yes.
Not the used, but premium.
Okay, so now let's break that down. So when you say that you produce your own cigars, that means you've gone to, or you have a farm or have access to a farm where you're growing and cultivating your own tobacco.
Exactly. And you have a factory that manufactures it for you. You have a blender. You have basically rollers. You have all of those things. But basically the way it breaks down is the factory is not 100% yours.
Yes.
You pay the factory to manufacture your cigars, and they do other projects as well.
Got you. So in essence, then you have to meet with the blender, kind of tell them the taste that you're looking for, and they will present to you various samples.
Exactly.
Okay, got you. But continue on. I'm sorry.
So after that, basically, like I said, with about the cigar, going in the cigar lounges and doing my research and everything like that, I decided that I wanted to manufacture cigars.
Yes.
So we began this project of creating Ancestry Cigars in 2019.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that my brand was created during COVID.
Okay.
So we incorporated August 28th of 2020 while we were on lockdown in COVID.
Wow. Well, now let me stop you again. So now this is the entrepreneurial enclave, so we've got to ask this question. Based on or along with you doing the research, when did you begin to do the business plan to see if this was going to be feasible for you to do such a business?
So basically in 2019, I sat down after because I really started this project. A lot of people don't know. They think I just started it.
Yeah.
In the past couple of years, I really started looking into about the end of 2017, 2018,
Okay.
about creating a cigar brand.
Yes.
So once I did my research, I sat down and started creating the business plan.
Yes.
I started, basically finding out all of the licenses and stuff that you need to get, because anybody that sits down and they talk to me, I'm very big on getting your paperwork first before you start investing in any money.
Yes.
So as far as paperwork is concerned, here in the state of Illinois, it's either if you want to incorporate it or LLC. Well, I chose to incorporate it so that when I decide to tear it off and create different entities of it, it would be easier.
Yes.
As opposed to LLC in it, and I have a limited liability corporation, and they still can come after me if I'm at an LLC.
Got you.
So we did the incorporation, and then after we did the incorporation, literally, I'll never forget my business consultant. He was laughing with me, which he's an excellent person. I really love him to death. He's really helped the business.
Yes.
We were at Casa in Countryside here, which is a cigar lounge. And we were in the member section. We did the paperwork on the computer because, again, it was during COVID at that time. We had to basically, you couldn't go physically to do it or talk to them like that.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember that, yes.
Yeah, I got my corporation back in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And he was like, wait a minute. I sat up and when I did my incorporation, it took me 2 weeks, and that was for expedited. And you got it back in minutes, and I was like, that's probably because it's COVID.
Yeah, nobody in the office.
Exactly. So nobody was filing for businesses. Think about it. Everybody was trying to figure out if they were going to still stay alive.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the first aspect of it. So we did the incorporation first. Then the next thing we had to do in the process of while we're doing this business plan is file for your tobacco license.
Yes.
So with filing for the tobacco license in most states, which all the states they require you to have a bond. And this bond is in case you ever decide that you don't want to pay your taxes, they can take that bond and it'll cover your taxes.
Got you.
So we have to incorporate that in the business plan as well. Then the next thing, while we were waiting for the tobacco license to come back, because if you never had a tobacco license before in the state of Illinois, at one point in time, when I got my license, it took 4 months. Now it's taking 6 months because everybody wants to come out with a lounge or some type of thing associated with cigars.
Yes.
And we waited 4 months. So while we were going through the process of waiting, that's when samples started coming in.
Okay.
And with that aspect of it, so let's take it back to the business plan. We've already did all the paperwork that we needed to do. Yes. So that was part A of the business plan. So then in the business plan, I had to incorporate and start to learn about the different parts of the cigar, the different leaves and everything like that. And basically how much it costs in terms of pallets.
Yes.
Because when you're manufacturing cigars, you have to buy the leaves, the binders, and fillers, and pallets, and you need to buy enough to last you 4 years, sometimes up to 2. So then you have to pull numbers from the factory that you use to manufacture your cigar. And that's included in the business plan. And then also in the business plan, you have to start pulling demographic numbers. Like, okay, if we're in Illinois, what is the demographic? If I come out with a Habano cigar, how many is African Americans, Asians, so on and so forth? How many of them are smoking Habanos? How many of them are smoking Maduros? How many of them are smoking Connecticut's, and so on and so forth? So you have to do a demographics in your business plan as well. And in the demographics, you have to also include not only individual customers, but you also have to include the lounges. So you have to start going to the lounges physically, meeting the lounge owners,
Yes.
talking, having conversations with them in regard to, hey, what's your popular brand? What are your customers like? What is their favorite stick? And then you also include that in your business plan as well.
Now, during the time that you're having the visit, were you able to bring about samples with you?
No. So what I did was, again, let's take this back to COVID. I was locked in.
Got you.
So I did all my sample tasting while I was locked in. My magic number, and I tell this no matter what platform I'm on, and people sit down and ask me personally, I say that my magic number is 20. I always request 20 samples
Yes.
of the cigar that I have in production, so I can taste it 20 different times with, and 20 different, 20 different times of the day,
Yes.
morning, noon, and night.
Yes.
And also with different types of either coffee, pop, water, bourbon, whiskey, tequila, vodka, whatever you like to pair it with.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I do 20 samples,
Okay.
and I break it down like that.
Okay. Love it. Love it. So now you're looking at the industry. And so in the business plan, were you looking at your marketing, and what did the marketing strategy look like?
I didn't hear you. Could you repeat yourself?
I said you're looking at the business plan, you're looking at your industry. What did the marketing plan, what did your marketing strategy look like?
So my marketing strategy looked like I had to actually pull people in.
Yes.
I have a wonderful marketing director that is based in Miami. He is also, his name is Jason Ferguson. He's also the owner of Destination Herc, which I am one of the sponsors of every year. So I had to pull him in, and he actually created Ancestry Cigars logo.
Okay.
Beautiful logo. He does quite a bit of stuff under the marketing tier.
Yes.
So basically, we came up with a marketing plan where you work from outside in, which basically breaks down to, if you are, for me, I'm based in Illinois. I started building the business outside of the state of Illinois, and then I brought the business back into the state of Illinois.
Okay. Now say more about that, because I'm assuming that you were looking for shops and events outside of Illinois.
Correct.
Got you. And so how did you go about doing that if you were still in pandemic mode, lockdown mode, or if you are now, physically making those connections? How do you do that?
So basically, a lot of the stuff, surprisingly, the connections that I made was on IG, because we were all locked in. So you have various people that came, which is Instagram.
Yes.
You have various people that came out, and they were doing different types of cigar platforms. Like you had Cigar Rockstar. You had I Am Jameson. You had various people that they switched to doing these platforms for you to get on there and, basically promote your business and everything like that, and just meet people and connect. And that's how I was able to start sending samples to different places outside of the state of Illinois.
Awesome. Now let me ask this question. So you said that women. When did you think women got really involved in smoking cigars? And what might be a reason for that?
Let's be honest. The cigar lounges never allowed women in there.
Okay.
If you look at the history of the cigar lounges, they did not allow women in there. Basically, it was a good old boys club, and it was for closing deals, watching sports, talking about stocks and stuff. And basically business deals.
Gotcha.
So I want to say within the past 10 years, women, actually I'd say more than that, about 15 years, women have really started coming into the cigar world as an aspect of being connoisseur of cigars and aspects of throwing events, coming out with brands, accessories, so on and so forth in the cigar world. Also, women, a lot of people don't know this, are the number one consumers now. They spend the most money. They spend more money than men. Just if you sit.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
You're saying now women are spending more money on cigars than men.
Correct.
Wow. I mean, in some fashion, I could see that because there's some of the local women here in my town. They're always going on cigar junkets, Wow. I could see that. Okay. Wow.
So they are basically, you can sit in the lounge, you can watch. Just because one thing I do is when I sit in the lounge, I have times where I go away just so I can be to myself and decompress. And I have times where I'm actually in the lounge and I might have events or I'm there supporting other events, so on and so forth. And I people watch.
Yes.
I watch what people smoke. That helps me with deciding on the next cigar. I watch the demographics in terms of, is it more women in there than men?
Yes.
And when I'm watching, also I'm seeing what the women are buying compared to what the men are buying.
Yes.
And the women are they're spending the money. They really are. Because a lot of the women, what they do a lot of, and I don't see this with them doing it with men, they would rather introduce an infused cigar to a woman than introduce a premium cigar to her.
Okay. Wow.
So I watch everything when I'm sitting in there.
Okay. Interesting. And I can see both sides of that because I've personally have introduced quite a few women to the world of smoking cigars, but I've seen some women just go on their own, after getting such exposure, and they start doing their own trips. They start doing their own pairings, and their own events where it's just women. They'll do a cigar dinner where women are just there, having a good meal. They'll sample some beverages. They'll sample some cigars. So I've seen that. I've seen that happen. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Now let me ask this question: where do you think the industry is going? 3 years from now, as far as women smoking cigars.
I think that I see the industry actually is going to be way more women than what it is now. If the growing trend keeps on going right now, the way it's going, I see it's going to be more women than men.
You mean more women of color, or just more women in general?
More women in general, because in actuality, color doesn't have a thing to do with it right now in regards to women coming into the smoking world. Like, I have women that are Asian, friends, Hispanic, white, black. The women are really just taking over. I mean, I hate to say it.
Understood.
And it's a positive thing. It's an excellent move that's being done.
And you think this is because for so many years, women were just shut out of that industry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because a lot of times, some of the women that I talk to, they got into it because either a grandfather, father, uncle, boyfriend, husband,
correct,
or someone exposed them to such.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I agree
with
wholeheartedly.
Okay.
But they open to it, and us as women, we're very intrigued by something.
Yes.
We want to go more in depth. We want to learn more about what we're doing, no matter if it's smoking cigars, no matter if you're in the cigar business, whatever business you're in. A woman that creates a business wants to, they're more in depth about it,
yes,
than men are. And I think that's what's going on with the cigar world. Women want to know more. They want to be more educated.
Yes.
They just sit up there and smoke a cigar. You don't know what you're smoking. You don't know the breakdown of it. You don't know the notes you're tasting. You don't, cigar, like I tell people, it's like a science project.
Yes.
And it's a breakdown. Like, you might smoke my cigar and you might say, hey, I taste spice. spice, I taste nuts, I taste leather, and then somebody else is smoking and they just say that they just taste spice. They don't taste any other notes that you're tasting. So
Gotcha.
it's basically a taste project.
Gotcha. Now, so the women that are smoking the cigars from your brand, do they ever ask to be a part of the cigar team, like your sales team? Has that ever happened?
Yes, they've asked. My sales team, actually, because we're in year 3, we've
Yes.
had to go through trial and error. And like I tell anybody, and it's always been told to me, the first 3 to 5 years of your business is going to be the hardest time because that'll make or break you. And basically, you're going to have a high turnover rate of employees. And with that being said, I've had women that have worked for me. I thank them for their service. But also, one thing we decided to do this year was dedicate our sales team towards being the men. Because we have a lot of lounges that we want to gain in our portfolio this year that they're not too happy when they see a woman sales rep come in.
Yes.
So it's better if you send a man in there and they'll be more open to bringing the brand in as opposed to a woman. Because when it comes to the lounges, sometimes now they actually talk to me and I close the deal, but most of the time my sales rep / ambassadors do it, and I just come in at the end to finalize things.
Gotcha. Interesting. And I can see both situations depending upon where you are, as to where they might be more receptive to a man or a woman closing the deal or presenting the product.
Correct.
On a national level, where do you think there's more African American women smoking cigars?
Whoa. I go all over.
Okay.
I'm mainly in the from the middle of the United States all the way to the East Coast.
Yes.
And that is really a hard thing because when I go to Texas, it's a lot of women smoking. When I go to Florida, to Tampa and Miami and places like that, it's a lot of women smoking. When you go to the Carolinas, it's a lot of women smoking. Atlanta, it's a lot of women smoking. That's the East Coast. Like you go to the DMV area, it's a lot of women smoking. So that's it's really no area that it's more women smoking in the United States right now because it's such a trend.
Yes.
You know. So that's really how, especially with being all over.
You said something key there. You said trend. Does that mean this is going to peter out, or this is going to actually grow and become sustainable?
Well, it all depends upon what is your why. Why you smoke cigars. If you smoke cigars to just for a fad, then you're not going to last long.
Yes.
If you look at cigars that is actually a lifestyle of yours,
yes.
Like, okay, say a lifestyle, what I mean in terms of like I golf a lot.
Yes.
Or I go fishing a lot. That's a part of my lifestyle.
Yes.
So I'm not going to stop doing those things. Just like me being a cigar maker and smoking cigars, I'm not going to stop that.
Gotcha.
If that's a part of your lifestyle, you're fine. But if you got in this, as you know, some people get into the cigar industry or they smoke cigars to get a man or get a woman. Then,
no, they don't do that, do they?
Oh, we don't do it. Let's be transparent. You go to the lounges, you know too.
Yeah, that's why I stay on my porch.
Exactly.
Well, for me, I and you just said the magic word. We're going to be transparent. For me, one of the challenges that I think lounges have oftentimes, right, is that women change the energy.
Yeah.
Because men, sometimes they've been at work all day or they've been at home all day. So they want to come in, they want to sit a certain way, they want to drink a certain thing, they want to watch a certain thing, and they want to talk a certain way. Now, if you come in with your girlfriend or your significant other or your wife, now men who are respectful to you, they've got to curtail themselves. And they're like, this don't feel right. I feel like being at home again. I can't be myself. So there's a balance there. And I've seen some clubs actually have women's night where they're featuring, women, so the men can come, but they're really going after the women so the women can feel more comfortable until there can be a balance in terms of numbers, right? But I've heard the scuttle about, wow, why is she in here? Won't she go somewhere else? Because they really want to talk a certain way, right? And then the women who are there, and they think that the man is being disrespectful, but he's talking, they're talking a way that you wouldn't appreciate it, but you have to look at where you are. So, I mean, it's a challenging balance, but I got you.
Yeah. But like I tell people, the men's conversation doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
Because I've been around men a very long time because I'm prior military, so I'm accustomed to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know how to tune things out. Like if you talking too much and I don't want to hear it and I'm by myself and I'm not with a group of people in the lounge, I put my earpods on and listen to music or watch the game or something like that. But it doesn't bother me. And that's because I was prior military, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Got you. Now let's take a break. You said prior military. So
yeah, I was in the United States Air Force.
Awesome.
I did.
No, yeah. Go ahead. I was going to say thank you for your service. So I'm saying, so you transitioned from the Air Force to just wanting to start a cigar business?
No, I'm transitioned from the Air Force, and my first degree is in culinary arts. Yes. I went to school to become a chef, and then I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, so I went back and worked for the federal government. I worked for them for 13 years, and then I got hurt. And then I ended up leaving there. And in the process of those things happening, I have my son, which is 17 years old. He'll be 18 in September.
Yes.
And then I was married the first time, got divorced, and then I married the current love of my life.
Yes.
I love Steph, and we've been together 15 years and married 13 years.
Awesome.
And after I left the government job, that's during the time that I decided that I wanted to make the brand. So like I literally left the job in 2019. Well, I knew I was gonna be leaving them separating from them because they couldn't any longer accommodate my restrictions.
Yes.
So the wheels started turning for me to go ahead and start working on making the brand.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Now, personal question, and we talked about this before. You're in Chicago, right?
Correct. I'm in Chicago,
and we had talked about cigars and house music. When can we expect a Legacy Cigar and House Music Festival?
I don't know. Like it's so because I got to tell people Illinois tobacco laws are crazy.
Yes,
crazy. They're crazy. So it's so hard now to try to do any outside smoking events in Chicago, period, because a lot of the parks don't allow you to smoke in the park anymore, but people still do.
Yes. Wow.
Because really, like, Illinois is a state that everybody knows it's a marijuana state.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, marijuana is legal here.
Oh yeah, I knew. I knew it was legal, but I didn't know how big the industry was.
Yeah, so last year for the dispensaries, the state of Illinois, I think they made $1 billion.
Wow.
In taxes off of cannabis.
Wow.
I think that's what it was. It's funny because I say this all the time. Everybody can smoke as much weed as they want to, but the FDA wants to go after the cigar brand.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. I don't understand that, you know. So it's like I said, it's hard to have events here in the city of Chicago because actually I'm working with Mel Lachey. She's another cigar brand that's actually out of Indiana. And October 14th of this year, we're doing the Cigar Queens of the Midwest, which is going to basically be a symposium where different people that are like in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri come together, the women, and we do a panel, and we basically give the breakdown how, to have a successful cigar business.
Wow.
Or accessories, podcasts, whatever
Yes.
you want to do in the cigar world.
I love it. I love it. Wow.
So,
Okay. Now, so my next question is, so since you've been in the industry, what have been some of the challenges and what have been some of your regrets?
Since I've been in the industry, some of the challenges are for people to actually take me seriously.
Yes.
By being a woman.
Got you.
That's been very challenging because, like, for me, when people find out I have a cigar brand or I'm a cigar manufacturer,
yes,
the first thing they think is, oh, you just work for the company. Oh, you're just a rep. No, I own the company.
Yes.
And I actually had this conversation last night. I was at an event at one of my cigar lounges here in Chicago for Cohiba brand because Sean Williams was in town. And it was some guests in there. And so the lounge owner was like, well, this Enid Blanton, she's the owner of Ancestry Cigars. And so the guy was like, oh, you mean she's a sales rep for them? She's the sales rep. And so I'm sitting up there laughing.
Yes.
And so I told him, I said, what I need you to do is go to the Secretary of State business
yes.
section on your phone. And he was like, why? I mean, you're the sales rep. You're the territory director. I was like, no, I need you to do that. I was like, just do this for me right fast. He was like, all right. So he goes on his phone. And they have a section where you can look up the business, like all states do, to make sure they listen. And I said, I need you to type in Ancestry Cigars.
Yes.
Typed in Ancestry Cigars. I said, what is the name on there? He said, Enid B. Blanton. I said, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
He looked at me and I was like, yeah, I'm the owner. I said, I'm not the sales rep. I'm not the territory manager. I'm not none of that. I'm the owner. I said, now scroll down to the board members. So he scrolls to the board members. I said, who's the president? Reginald Blanton. I said, that's my husband.
Yes.
I said, so I'm the owner. I'm the CEO, owner, whatever you want to call it.
Yes. Good for you.
I'm just in charge. And he was like, oh my God, I thought you were joking. I said, no, I don't joke about stuff like that.
Yes. Now,
and it's interesting.
What's with the name? What's behind the name?
So Ancestry Cigars, the reason why I chose Ancestry Cigars at the time, I was thinking about names. It was to honor my grandmother, which died in 2018, which was my mom's mom, and to honor my father that died in 2019. Then my mom just passed in 2021, so I chose Ancestry to honor all of my ancestors that have gone before me.
Love it. Love it. Thank you.
And that's the reason why if you look at my sticks, the names of my sticks, which the Connecticut is named the Horace.
Yes.
The Habano is named the Hika. The Maduro is named the Amun. And the last stick I just came out with, my Lancero, is named the Isis. And it is to represent all of the Egyptian gods and goddesses of Africa.
Yes. Yes. Wow. I love
so each stick tells a story. And a lot of people don't know that Isis teared off. Isis and Othello were married. And that's why I have the Horus and the Hika, because all of them, and the Amun, all of them are connected in some type of way, family-wise.
I love it. I love it.
And that's why they had a name.
Wow. So what's the ultimate goal of your company now?
The ultimate goal, we have a challenge this year of 100 lounges. Before we entered this year, we were in, 25, 26 lounges. Now we're up to 30.
Wow.
Goal for this year. The goal for this year is really to take the cigars into the lounges and do minimal festivals. because the lounges give you the reoccurring money, and the festivals sometimes can make you lose money.
Got you.
So that's the ultimate goal for this year.
Got you.
In the 10-year plan, the ultimate goal is to have, which I actually am investing into a factory in the DR right now. And we're still working out some things down there, which I don't even know what's going on.
Got you. And so the goal is to open up the factory in DR, and then do business there, but to also do field trips where people can come and tour the factory. I love it. And I'm going to buy the first ticket. I'm ready.
And also to bring in more boutique brands.
Okay.
No matter what color they are.
Yes.
Bring them in so they can have a space, reasonable space.
Yes.
To do their cigars, and they won't have to go through the things that I went through when I first got in the business.
Yes. And that could be another benefit of women attending your symposium, correct?
Correct.
Wow. Well, now let me ask this question. So, in terms of financing, right? How was the financing? Did they see a woman of color coming to the bank to do financing for a cigar lounge or cigar business? How was that whole series?
So let me tell you that I started this business with zero financing from banks.
Gotcha.
It was straight money that was saved.
Okay.
Money that was left to me that started this.
Got you.
Yeah. So I didn't have any bank financing at all. And to this day, I still don't.
Okay. Good for you. Now, as the industry grows, are you thinking about going back to your culinary art roots? Because I think that would be cool if you could specifically cook a particular dish that would pair nicely with a cigar that you enjoy. You think you might go back to your culinary roots?
No. I have a friend that's a chef.
Yes.
That we've talked about doing a cigar brunch pairing.
Yes.
No, I will not do that. I will cook for my family, but no.
Gotcha.
I those groups that I'm good.
Gotcha.
So, as they say, like I tell some people, some things you can have, some things I can have. I'm not going to step into your world. Don't step into mine. We're good for now.
Understood. So up to this point in the conversation, if there's a woman that's looking to be in the industry at the level where you are, what would you share with her? What piece of advice would you give her?
Basically, the piece of advice that I would give her is that you have to have tough skin in this industry.
Yes.
You have to learn how to leave your feelings at the door.
Yes.
Or else, let me say this, from 9 to whatever time of the day my day ends.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be 6, sometimes it can be midnight, sometimes it can be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. My feelings, I have to put them on the shelf when it comes to my business.
Yes.
If you don't put your feelings on the shelf, you will have people in this industry walk all over you.
Okay.
And that's no matter what business you're in. As a woman, you have to stand firm on what you believe in.
Yes.
And you also have to take no prisoners.
Yes. Now, what does that mean when you say take no prisoners in your industry?
In my industry, it means make the males honestly respect you.
Yes.
To not see you as being a sexual object, to see you as being one of their counterparts.
Yes.
And that's what I mean in my industry. Like, I can walk in a lounge and I'm respected so much. You know, you got the people that everybody got haters that got things to say or whatever. But when I walk in a lounge, I'm actually honestly respected for what I do. A lot of people, especially women, are in awe. They're like, and it takes me aback because sometimes, and I had a discussion with my husband all the time, I don't realize what I've really done.
Yes.
Because I've been so in the moment of moving and building a business, and I have not realized what I've done until people come up and women and men have came up to me and they have said, you don't realize what you've done, the barriers that you've broken down to make for other people to be able to do what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. And so I'm going to ask you that question. When do you have a chance to sit back and reflect on your great accomplishments? When do you do that?
What I try to do, let me say this, to sit back and reflect on my accomplishments. If not once a month, I try to do it once a quarter.
Got you. Okay.
And I also, now that we are in the spring, and this happens to be, for me, because I'm in the Midwest, this is our busy season. This is like for all across the United States. Because the weather is good, the season cranks up.
Yes.
So I have taken it upon myself now that I no longer, on Sundays and Mondays, I will not be working. I will take those times to sit back and reflect, do things for myself and everything like that, so that I can really focus in on this is what I've done.
Yes.
Because if you come to Chicago, I tell people this all the time. I feel as though I'm one of the most humblest people. Like, you can see me in Walmart. If I'm in Walmart and I'm scanning my groceries from my house,
yes,
and you come up to me and you say, "Hey, I'm so and so. I follow you on social media, and you want to have a conversation," I will stop getting my groceries.
Gotcha. Okay.
Have a conversation, take a picture with you, and go on about my day. Like, you can see me walking around the city when it's cold with a hoodie on, gym shoes on, jeans. I mean, I'm not always, as they say, as some people call me, the cigar princess, a queen rather of Illinois. I'm not always dressed up like that. I'm an average person, female from the south side of Chicago.
Yes. Now I got one for you, right? So what's your favorite cigar, and what's your best time of day that you enjoy a cigar?
So as we had our private conversation, I told you Valencia.
Yes.
That's my cigar. And it's actually the black and gold one, the Maduro one. It's my favorite one. I'm the type of smoker, I smoke all times of the day. Okay. I had a cigar this morning. I had a Cohiba Black.
That's all. That's all right. That's all right.
With my coffee.
Yeah.
So I don't. For me, I guess, like, I can wake up smoking a cigar. Like, if I decide that I want to go, my husband and I decide we want to go fishing at 5 o'clock in the morning, I could be sitting on the fishing, smoking a cigar. I could be on the golf course smoking a cigar. I think my favorite time of the day to really smoke would be at nighttime.
Got you.
Yeah, because I can enjoy it more, and I'm not running this place or running that place. I got to do this, I got to do that. So I would have to say night.
Wow. So, and so when you're smoking the cigar, and I know the answer, but just for the listening audience, what are you trying to pick up while you're smoking, enjoying your cigar? You're trying to pick up the notes, that the manufacturer talked about. What's going on through your mind as you're smoking your cigar?
So one thing a lot of people don't know about me, everybody, some people always think I'm always smoking my cigars. I'm not. Gotcha. In a given week, you might see me smoke my cigars maybe in 7 days. You might see me smoke it 3 times a week.
Got you. And you're talking about your brand.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And the reason why I do that is because I want to see what's out there on the market.
Yes.
And I don't believe in reading about different manufacturers, different cigars that they come out with, about what their notes are until after I try the cigar.
Okay, fair enough.
And I do that because that helps keep my palate alive.
Yes. And
helps me to know what I'm looking for when I'm creating a cigar. I also look at the construction of the cigar. I'm very critical, even to my cigars. Like, if you work for my factory, you feel like she's crazy. I'm very critical about a construction of a cigar. Yes. If it cones, if it splits, if it got any cracks in it, because when our cigars come in, they have to be inspected when they come in from the factory. They go to the warehouse, and I expect them to inspect everything.
Yes.
Now, when the warehouse has to send me shipment, because my lounges here that are close to me in the Midwest, I do their deliveries, or my sales reps and masters that live here do them. We inspect the cigars.
Yes.
To make sure that if anything is wrong, we can catch it before it goes to the lounges, which you can't catch it all the time. So I do. I look for afterwards.
Okay.
I see what did I miss.
Because typically your day could be long if you're doing an event at a lounge, right?
Yeah, my my latest time that I have been at a lounge, honestly, it's been like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Okay.
Now this year, I only come to the lounges. Basically, my sales team goes to the lounges, and I come in either at the initial.
Okay.
When we first set up the account, I do the first cut and light with them.
Yes.
And then after that, I only come in for special occasions.
Yes.
Or if they were already in my portfolio, I try to come and do events with them once a quarter.
Gotcha.
But if I have a sales team / ambassadors there, I come for a few hours and I leave. And I'm normally late. I don't come in. If it starts at 7, I don't normally get there until like about 8:30, because I want the sales reps to start getting, the lounge acclimated, telling them about the cigars, start getting them purchased and everything.
Yes.
Then I'll come in, because really that's their account, that's their job. I don't want to take from them building up the rapport with the customers, because they have to be there in whatever town they're in. That's their account, so they have to deal with that on a regular basis.
Now that's a good question. Let's take a break there for a second. So that's a good question. So I'm saying to you, and I'm asking of you, when you introduce a new line, do you gather the team in some location, and does everyone have to have that cigar, and does everyone have to? How does that go where the sales rep understands the cigar? I mean,
so basically what happens is my sales reps all of them are not here in Illinois.
Yes.
It's 2 in Illinois, it's 2 in Texas, 1 is in Dallas, the other one is in Houston. And then, did I get all 4? Yeah, I got those 4. So we're looking for more to expand.
Yes.
So they get the new cigars, they get it before it's going to come out to the public. So
yes.
They got it last year when I came out to ICE in October. They got it in August, because what I had the team do, my factory do, was send me a bundle over.
Yes.
So that I can start breaking up and giving it to the sales rep, and then also so my board members can smoke it.
Got you.
And we'll do it soon, because again, everybody's all over.
Yes.
And we'll meet on the Zoom, and I'll tell them to break down the cigar. They'll give their opinion about it, what needs to be different, how they plan on they can, they can market it in their area and everything, and we go from there.
Okay, good. Interesting. Okay, good. Wow, that's good. I love it. Well, I think, we can talk so much longer, but is there anything else specifically that we need to talk about now, or you would like to talk about now, regarding your industry, your business?
Like I said, October 14th, hopefully soon, the flyer will be out.
Yes.
And we should hopefully within the next couple of weeks have everything. And I really want the women and men to come out and support the event in Indiana, so that you guys can actually see people who are really making powerful moves in the cigar industry the right way.
Yes. Yeah, I love it.
That's the wrong way. Because so many people that I hear of, that I actually have conversations with, and I've even made the same mistake. I'm not been perfect in this business. I've made numerous mistakes. But to sit down and have conversations with people and hear the mistakes that they're making, when the only thing they got to do is take the time to study and do their research. And this way, we're bringing all the people together, so everybody in the Midwest can know this is how I go about doing this is how I go about doing that, so on and so forth. So
Got you. Now, would you ever I don't know the phraseology. Would you ever select, or would you ever have a celebrity endorse your cigar, or perhaps brand a cigar after a celebrity?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I would. If a celebrity comes to me and they ask me to create a cigar for them or endorse my cigar, I would absolutely let it happen.
Okay.
I would.
And
That would be awesome.
And why would you do that?
I would do that in turn because, for one, if they wanted me to make their cigar, that means that they trust me with their palate.
Okay.
They know that they believe in my brand, that I can create what they're actually looking for.
Got you.
A celebrity came to endorse Ancestry cigars. That means that they believe in the brand and they actually believe in the cigars and they like them.
Got you.
So I would do it without hesitation. I'd be like, okay, well, let's get these lawyers together, draw up these contracts. I would.
Got you. And so, of course, you would have to raise the price of the cigar to compensate that endorsement or to compensate that celebrity, correct?
Correct. So, actually, my cigars, my basic line, the MSRP is $10 for those. And then my new cigar that I just came out with, the MSRP is $12. Yes. So my cigars are very reasonable compared to counterparts that come out with cigars and they're $15. But anyway, because you got to start out with basics before you can get up there to that tier. And I say this, my mom always, when we were growing up, she would always say, you have to crawl sometimes before you walk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes, I don't care what business you're in, the business owners can outprice themselves if they put a product too high and you're just getting into the industry. Yes. So that's the reason why my cigars are, they're pretty basic prices. They're not going to outprice you.
Yes. Interesting. Yeah. Now let's just have fun for a second. Who would be a celebrity that you would love to either endorse your brand or to have you blend a cigar for them?
Michael Jordan. I've always liked Michael Jordan. Let me say this. I've always been in love with Michael Jordan ever since I was a kid.
Got you.
Michael Jordan and my father's deceased now. They were both born on February 17th. My birthday is February 13th. I grew up in the era of Michael Jordan here in Chicago, and I've always been in love with Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Because
that's a big yeah, he's a big time cigar smoker.
Yes, he is. Wow. Golfer, the above.
Interesting. Okay. That's fair enough. Okay. I would, man, hey, have you ever come across him yet? Have you ever bumped into him?
The last time I saw Michael Jordan, I think I was like 9 or 10, and my dad, we were up on the north side.
Got you.
And he was somewhere. Was it Evanston? No, we weren't at Evanston. We were in Deerfield. And we bumped into him, and he spoke and everything like that, and that was it.
Okay.
That was I saw him.
All right. So, listen, there may be opportunities for your team and your paths to cross.
Yep.
This has been fantastic. We had mentioned earlier that you do come to the DMV, you do come to the Baltimore area. So the next time you are here, you call me, you text me. I'm going to make it my business to meet you so we can smoke a cigar together. But in the meantime, though, I'm going to ask you for your bio and your headshot, right? But then in your bio, just tell me how people can get in contact with you, how they can follow you. And I guess my next question is, are you always looking for salespeople?
Yes, we are. We're always, the more we expand, the more salespeople we are looking for. It's a criteria that they have to go through. Of course, they have to send a resume. They have to go through an interview.
Yes.
Then the other sales reps have to interview them to make sure they get a good fit, and then they give me the recommendation, and then I present it to the board, and then the board makes the final recommendation. So we're always looking for sales reps in different areas. You know, even if they decide they don't want to be a sales rep, they just want to be an ambassador and do our social media platform and
Yes.
always on IG and stuff, pumping the brand. We take those as well.
Awesome. Awesome. This has been fantastic. And I knew you were going to share, excuse me, and I knew you were going to share some informative information that we needed to hear. I love it. I love it. The platform is always open to you. We welcome you. We're going to ask for your continued success. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Now, before we go, just for the taping, how can people stay in contact with you and be in contact with you?
People can stay in contact with me on Facebook. It's Enid Full Body Blanton. And our business page on Facebook is Ancestry Cigars Incorporated. Then on IG, they can follow us at Ancestry_Cigars_INC. Then on Twitter, it's Ancestry Cigars. And then our website is actually www.ancestryscigars.com.
Awesome.
And then our email is AncestryCigarsIncorporated@gmail.com.
And that'll also be in your bio as well, right?
Correct. Everything will be in my mail.
Listen, this is fantastic. Need I am so excited for you, and you gave us the real lowdown. Any more things you want to share us about the women in industry, your business?
I just say, like, really support your women. We work really, really hard. We have to work 10 times harder than the men because we just have to, because we see greatness in our brand.
Yes.
Always, when you see a woman just smoking a cigar, or she's a brand or owner, just say thank you.
Got you.
We go through a lot.
Got you. Now the other thing is, cigars and sporting events go together, right?
Correct.
Do you have any strategies for getting your brand into some of the I guess sports aspect of it all, like having
the sports aspect, especially with a lot of these, like football, baseball,
yes,
and stuff like that, they stop you being able to smoke in the stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes it hard. So now, because NASCAR is coming to Chicago this summer.
What? Wait. NASCAR is coming to Chicago?
Yeah, so July 1st and 2nd, we're having the NASCAR street racing.
What?
Here in Chicago. They're doing it in downtown Chicago around Millennium Park in that area. So I'm trying to connect it with NASCAR, one of the teams, so that we can provide them with cigars for the race. But we're not successful. So if anybody out there knows somebody from NASCAR, tell them to email me, call me.
Yes.
I really would like to give them cigars to smoke for the race. Because as you know, whenever they win the race or whatever, they smoke a cigar, and champagne, and a whole lot of other stuff is popping.
Yeah.
So that would be a real honor to just give them. They wouldn't have to purchase them like 2 or 3 boxes, and they just take pictures with them and let them know that they were part of the NASCAR race.
So with the new mayor coming in, maybe his team has some contacts for you.
Yeah, hopefully his team has some contacts. I have my business consultant looking into it. Okay. He's working on things because in actuality, my business consultant, when the governor won this past November, he took my cigars to the governor's watch party and they smoked them. So that was an honor.
Absolutely.
And a to have that, and they enjoyed them, and they said congratulations and everything like that, and they look forward to seeing the big things in the future.
Now, I don't know if I asked this, but do you have a physical brick and mortar store or lounge?
No, I don't.
Okay, gotcha.
have a physical location. Everybody keeps asking me, are you going to open up a physical location? I say no.
Okay.
Because I like being on the road too much and out meeting people.
Yes.
And I feel as though if I open up a lounge, not unless I open it up in a different state, if I open it up here, especially with the way the taxes are here and the rules, and we can't have liquor in the bar, liquor in the lounge, it won't be successful.
Gotcha. Even if it was a membership lounge and the members brought their own beer and wine?
Well, see, here in Illinois, it's only BYOB.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. When you go out of state and you go to these different lounges, they are not making the money off the cigars. They're making the money off the alcohol. The cigars is second.
Well, yeah, and again, most of the lounges that I go to, it's membership driven, and the members bring their own BYOB, and it seems to work out. Fine, because the one store that comes to my mind is Holtz, right? Holtz Cigars.
Okay.
Which is really big in the Northeast here in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Okay. And so they've got this huge lounge in the front of the building, but in the back is their warehouse where they've got their salespersons and anyone who's on their website that places an order, they process the order right from there. So they have like two different staffs. So that might be something to consider, right? You know, the front of the building, the front of the warehouse is literally where you can, it's open to the public. Then one half is open to the public, your store. And then the other part is a lounge. And then behind that, you've got this huge warehouse where all the inventory comes in and people are processing all the orders. Something to consider, though. So you got the best of both worlds, right?
But I said if I ever did a lounge, I wanted to do it in a warmer climate so I can get the year money.
Gotcha.
Chicago, when that snow hits and when that hawk hits, people don't come out.
I know that's right, because you got some cold weather up there.
We're surprised actually now, because today is going to be 82 degrees. It's been warm the past, week and a half?
Yeah.
We're surprised it's warm in April.
Listen, you take it when you can get it, right?
Yeah, because we had such a mild winter this year, too.
Yeah, we did.
And I was in the lounge last night talking, and I said, I think we're going to have a hot-ass summer.
I think so. But I'm ready for it, though. Bring it on. I'm ready for it.
I know how to stay in the house and come out in the evening.
Yep.
They say I know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I said, I think we are going to have a real hot summer.
I think so as well. Yep.
So, yeah.
Listen, you have been fantastic. Nothing but continued blessings and success upon you and your endeavors.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to talk to you soon, but let's talk and stay connected.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure I get the bio and stuff over to you within an hour.
All right. Thank you. That'll be fine.
All
right. That concludes another episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about any of our episodes, please call 609-731-9311 or email kevin@minding-our-business.com. We look forward to joining us for our next one. Until next time.